Hi, photography and design students. This is your introduction to our next assignment, which is the shadow photography. This is a really fun assignment. I'm excited for this. I think you guys are going to have a good time. Now, we're going to be using shadows as a tool to make stronger images. So something that's really simple like lighting and shadows that we don't take a lot of notice to is what we're going to be trying to focus on for the next couple weeks. So here's two examples of photos that are using shadows. Here are three more photos that are using shadows. This photo of a cat would not be nearly as exciting if it didn't have the shadow that's portrayed onto the side. These forks also wouldn't be nearly as an exciting photo if the lighting wasn't hitting it just like this to make these really neat shadows. And then here we have more of another kitchen with a whisk and some eggs. And again, there's some sort of light coming from the side. It looks like this light is coming all from the same side. And as the light's coming through, it's making these lines on the eggs. Here, the light is shining through the fork and the points of the fork, making these long stripes. And then the light's again coming on this side of the cat, which is making this long, big cat image. So that's what we're going to be looking at to make our shadows, is using either natural sunlight or some sort of a spotlight that you have in your house. Now, how can you make these photographs even stronger? The first thing you're going to want to focus on is the subject. The subject is the thing that you're taking a picture of. The subject can be a person, or it could be a place, or it could be a thing. So in this case, I chose two photos of things. So the subject here is this ring, and the subject here are these glasses. Now notice we're choosing just one object. The ring is the focus here, and then the shadow of the ring is what's making it even stronger image of just having a ring. Now we have the shadow making a really neat add to the photo. And then the glasses, these are the actual glasses, and this is the reflection of the glasses, which is making a really interesting shadow also. So the one thing I want you to do is to choose one thing. So we can choose the ring, the glasses, we can choose the cat, we can choose the forks, we can choose the whisk, and then reflect it onto the eggs. But we're just choosing one thing to photograph. The wall here is empty. There's nothing really around to distract you. Same here. There's nothing around the glasses to distract you. So we are choosing one subject and we're getting in close to the subject. The second thing I would like you to focus on to take stronger photographs for this assignment is balancing the photo. Now, we learned how to balance the photo using the rule of thirds. Here are some other ways. Using less background. So having the getting in closer to the subject is going to help you balance your photo by having less background. The closer you are to the subject, the less background you're going to have. We don't want you to place your subject in the middle if you can help it, just like these flowers right here. The flowers are not placed in the middle, they're off to the side. Here again, we have a picture of a person off to the side. And here we have all of this really fun action that's off to the side. Now, if you notice, these photos have kind of this circular spiral that's happening. This is called the golden ratio. We haven't talked about it yet, but you'll see it down here used in conjunction with the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds is the red grid, and the golden ratio is this blue swirl. And you kind of follow the action as it moves through the rule of thirds. So we're starting here from the chair, the camera. It comes up and we see this guy on top of the bed getting his photo taken. So he's doing something really crazy. It comes down here and then we see the photographer looking up at him taking a picture. So it kind of rotates all the way around. So using the rule of thirds, the golden ratio, not putting our subjects in the middle and having less background. That's what we want to do to show some balance in our photo. Next, I want you to take a look at the angle that you're taking your photo at. Now, in order to get shadow photos like this cat, we have to be right on top of the cat. We have to be above the cat here. In this case, we have to be on the side of the forks. Here, we're kind of behind or next to the light that's shining onto the eggs. The angle here is also really important in order for us to get this heart shape. Same with the glasses. In order to get an exact pair of glasses that matches it, we have to have our camera or our body positioned in a certain way. So that's the same thing you're going to do with your angles. So when you're there taking your photo, I want you to move around the subject. Try getting really high in the air or really low to the ground. So this gentleman is looking up and it looks like we're looking down at him. So here we're really high up, and he's reaching up towards us. Here in the picture of the tree, we're really low. We're very low to the ground, looking straight up at the tree. And again, if you want to photograph a dog in a sweater, the best way to photograph a dog in a sweater is to get really low and look the dog in the eye. And then you're going to get a great photo of a dog. So try getting in closer, try getting further away, try getting really high, try getting low, and moving around the subject. Get some great angles and see what how it changes the shadows and changes your picture. Now, making shadows is all about lighting. No lighting is no shadow. So we have to really think about the lights that we're using. So if you are indoors taking these photos, please get near a window or use a spotlight of some kind. So you can turn on your kitchen light, your bedroom light. You can grab a flashlight, use a flashlight on a phone, and just play around with the different shadows that you can make indoors. If you'd like to try outside, you're going to have to think about the time of day. Now, it's not going to work in the middle of the night because there's no sun out. But at noon, remember that the sun is right above you and the shadows will be short and dark. If you are going to go out like an hour before sunset, you're going to have a really pretty golden glow, and you're also going to get long, more subdued shadows because the angle of the sun is different. So try looking out at the shadows outside in different times of the day. So we want to focus this assignment on the shadow and not the location. So the location doesn't matter. You can use an empty wall in your house if you want to try using a spotlight or a flashlight and making shadows. You can use your mini blinds in your bedroom. It doesn't matter the location. It just matters of the shadow that you're creating and the dramatic effect of that. So if you're inside, get near a window, use a spotlight. If you're outside, consider the time of day. All right. So there's a video up here that I'm going to ask you to watch. It's all student examples. So if you want some examples of how to do this, these are all middle school and high school students. There's like 100 pictures in here for you to look through. So it's a video. So just go ahead, sit back, watch that, and I think you're going to get some great ideas. Now it's your turn to start taking these pictures after you've done watching the examples. So these are your steps for success. I want to encourage you to take your time and do not rush. You're going to be turning in 10 pictures, but just take as many pictures as you want. And like I said, don't rush, enjoy the entire process. You should also practice looking around. What do you see when you're sitting in your room and you have the lights on? What kind of shadows do you see? When you're outside looking at your window, what shadows do you see? When you're at the dining table, or when you're out front or in the backyard, what shadows can you find? And then also think about the time and the placement. So where is the sun at? Where is my light at? Where is the window? Am I using a spotlight? So those are some other things you should take into account. Now you should try to find or create the shadows however you like. So like I said, you can use the sun, you can use a regular lamp or a light, use the window, the sun from the window, or use some sort of a spotlight and create whatever types of shadows that you'd like. Now, you're going to want to remember the following: the subject. Choose one subject, getting close to that subject. Find a unique angle, maybe from up high, maybe from down low. Think about your lighting. Where is the lighting coming from? What time of day is it? Is this a strong light, or is this a really faded light? Oh, and I wrote angle on here again. That's not supposed to say angle again. That is supposed to say balance. Let me change that. Balance. Now remember, when we're doing our rule of thirds, you don't have to do the balance while you're taking the photo. You can also just edit the photo after when we do the cropping to get a better balance. So if you just take a photo maybe a little bit wider, you can always crop in and get close to the subject in the editing. And then you can bring some balance into your photo if you need to. So this is what we're going to do for today's and the rest of this week's assignment. So for the rest of this week, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be taking at least 10 photos with a strong shadow element. I would try for closer to 15. I would probably take 50, but I like taking pictures. So I would take a lot of pictures, at least 10 at the very minimal. That's how many you have to turn in. So you're going to add these 10 photos, your 10 favorite photos that you took, to your Google Drive, and then stop. We are going to be doing some editing next week. So next week, you're going to continue working with these photos that you've taken. But for this week, just take your 10 photos and then stop. Put them in your Google Drive, and you're done for the week. Next week, we're going to learn some new editing techniques. The final assignment is going to require you to choose 2 of the 10, and you're going to edit those shadow photos using the techniques that we learned next week. And then you're going to be turning in 2 original photos and the 2 edited photos. And they're actually going to be next to each other so we can see the difference between the edits. So you're going to have the original photo right next to the edited photo so we can see them side by side. I'm not going to give you any more information about the editing techniques. I'd like you to just hold off. But really, if you want to do more, go take more shadow photos. Look for stronger shadows. Try creating shadows by making a cutout of some kind. So if you have extra time and you don't want to stop working on this assignment, I'm going to tell you to go take more photos, look for more photos, or make more shadows for your photos, okay? So that's it for the rest of this week. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email. Let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys. I think this is going to be a really fun project. Enjoy looking at these student examples. I think you're going to find some fantastic ideas, and you're really going to get inspired. All right, have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.